Joseph, welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Yes or no, do you believe that if a woman had two options in front of her, the first is a man who will love, protect, and provide for her and her family, their family, or food stamps and government assistance, that woman would pick food stamps and government assistance? That's my question to you. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
Yes or no, do you believe that if a woman had two options in front of her, a man that was going to love, protect, and provide for her and her family, their family, or food stamps and government assistance, that she would choose food stamps and government assistance?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because we miss nuance in this conversation. There are a lot of women who would rather be on government assistance than have a man that they have to listen to. That alone, having to listen to a man when she could just be on government assistance.
Right.
There's a lot of women who choose government assistance simply because they don't like men. They like the thought of having a family. They like their children. They like a man paying for shit, but they don't like answering to a man. There's a lot of, there's women on this app who say it every day, like, why would I listen to a man? Those same women have urges to have families, but listening to that man makes them want to gag. Because there's a lot of women who simply do not like men. Just like y'all know there's men who don't like women but like to have sex with women, there's a lot of women, more women than men who are like that, because there's way more women. So people love to skip over nuance in that conversation. Y'all can act like it don't happen, but there are women who love to choose to be single moms. Maybe my rant 8.
Ooh, see, I was going to double back with that same exact point he just made. The whole time he's talking, I'm thinking, you know what? This can be applied to more than just government assistance and food stamps. Let's keep listening. Shout out to John Cannon 2.0. Follow him on TikTok.
I got food stamps, I got a job, I got this, I got that. Like, really, some of them be living better than people who work full time. It makes sense in their brain, especially if they were raised like that. Like, it's over. So all this, you think a woman would choose to be on government assistance rather than have a man who protects and provides? Yes, there's a lot of them who would choose that. Yes, the answer is yes. I even heard a couple guys on here talking about, I want kids and I don't want to get married. What the wrong with y'all?
I agree. Listen, unfortunately, we live in a society where women can not only be single mothers and get government assistance, food stamps, because I'm going somewhere with this, guys. This is not about do they need the help. That's not the point. Unfortunately, not only can they decide to be single moms, but they're encouraged to be single moms. And for the sake of a lot of men's grief, a lot of men's trauma due to divorce and trying to work with those women, I wish more women actually knew themselves well enough to know that they shouldn't be getting involved with men to begin with. What I mean by this, guys, is it's not just about the government assistance and food stamps. Like he said, there are a bunch of women out here who don't need the government assistance or food stamps, but they choose to be single mothers, not because they truly believe they can do it by themselves. No, the number one factor in that decision is I don't want to have to deal with a man. Cooperating with a man. I do not want to have to deal with the man having say-so in my life. The idea of being in a marriage with another man, having children, does repulse a lot of women today, because unfortunately society through feminism has forced them to look at men with disgust. But then there's another type of woman, that's the type I was just talking about, who doesn't know that about herself. She has this false idea of what marriage is, because the lady in the beginning of the question, the way she set up the question, she says, are you telling me a woman would pick food stamps over a loving man who's protecting and providing? And the truth, the brutal truth is a lot of women do. And a lot of women think that they would, but end up divorcing men because they don't understand what it takes to have a loving relationship. Drink the coffee.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
It takes work. And that work can come in the form of a lot of things that a lot of women today, if you're dating, aren't trying to deal with. Accountability, humility, staying caffeinated. You don't just find a loving relationship, you create a loving relationship. This is like saying, are you telling me someone would pick eating unhealthy over having a really nice body? Yes, people do it every day. People do it every day. Why? Because they've realized that the sacrifice that it's going to take to achieve that is just too much. Oh, but Chisha, that's not the same thing. Yes, it is. It is the same thing. When you see a healthy, loving couple, you think they just got the combination right with personalities. That's a small part of the work. A lot of that comes down to learning to cooperate with each other. A lot of that comes down to getting to know your partner. It comes down to respecting a man, providing what that man wants in that relationship. A man also bringing that emotional stability, right? That provision. But what does a woman bring? All those things take work. And there are too many women out here who don't understand this. And while they're in the marriage, end up realizing, you know what? I would rather be the woman who gets government assistance. And how do they get government assistance? They divorce and get it through the state. Child support. Because they would rather be alone and go back in the streets, because to far too many women, they don't actually want to be wives. They want to have the husband. They desire the family, right? Like the content creator was talking about there. They desire that family, but they know that, man, you telling me I'm going to have to calorie restrict? You're telling me I'm going to have to do some cardio? But you know, I can work out, but man, I love eating whatever I want. I don't want to have to drink a low-calorie beverage.
Put that coffee down.
They don't want that. It's too much work. And so they give up and say things like, I can't do this. I cannot stand a man telling me what to do. Here is a comment in response to that video that says, I'll listen to a man who knows how to lead over government assistance all day. And the content creator responded here. This is what he had to say. Let's check it out.
You are the exact archetype of the women I'm talking about. So the topic is, would a woman choose government assistance, right, to protect and provide for her over a man who protects and provides for her? And your answer is, I'll listen to a man who knows how to lead over government assistance all day. Well, that sounds good in a comment, but that just means you listening is conditional. Whole time you're literal dependent. I have no problem with men providing for their women if he makes enough money to do so. And they both agree on that. Personally, I feel like America is set up for two-parent households who both earn, but to each his or her own, okay? The problem with this comment, and I went to your profile, here's the problem with the comment and women like you. You're an attractive woman. So you already, especially with social media, I'm not guessing this. This is a generality. Most women who look as good as you do already feel like, I get another man, I don't care. Because your options are wide. Also, starting over for a lot of women, especially if they have children, looks like government assistance. So you got two options to kick a man to the curb that you don't feel like listening to. Because who's to say he's not a good leader? You? Or your friends? Whoever's opinion you're listening to? You get what I'm saying? You can get mad and not listen to a man who's paying all the bills and protecting and providing for you and not listen to him. He can't get mad at you and not pay the rent. Like, oh, I'm pissed at you today, Keisha. I ain't paying the fucking rent this month.
Ooh. Right.
No, that can't happen. So you see how, like, if you see it from the perspective of a man, it gets real difficult to be like, yeah, I want to stay with this woman who constantly reminds me that I can be replaced through multiple means. This is coming from a married man with 3 kids. I'm not like dogging relationships. I'm just saying your comment literally shows the problem in these logic, and it ignores the nuance. Like, you're not going to listen to a man if you feel like he isn't leading right, which means you could simply be a bad follower.
Not that he's a terrible leader. You just don't like the things he's saying and doing. If he's providing a certain type of life and the economy takes a turn for the worse, he's like, it's time to downsize. We need to sell these cars and move to a cheaper house. And you say, no, I can do this on my own. That happens a lot of times.
Right.
The number one reason for divorce is financial problems.
So I want to really kind of double down on what he's saying right there. She's saying, I'll listen to a man who knows how to lead. And you can't go into a marriage with that mindset because that's just way too unpredictable. You're never going to get anything done. Do you know how many times employees disagree with what their boss has to say, but they just do it? Most times they're wrong, but sometimes they may be right. But either way, the default has to be, I understand that I'm choosing to listen to this man. That has to be your default. Not you're waking up constantly approving whether what he says is right or wrong. That just is the beginning of a failed relationship. And you have to know this as a man. If you're out here dating, you have to realize that there are chicks out here who move like this, and you may think, oh yeah, she gets it, she understands. No, she doesn't.
So if a woman feel like, well, I don't need you, I could do this shit with the government. I could downsize with the government, and then I won't even have to listen to you. That happens. That happens a lot. It's the number one reason.
All right, so this is the final video I'm going to play. It's titled, Being Married Should Not Feel Like a Prison. Hear it.
It's interesting when you hear women talk about them leaving their marriages and how, they celebrate their freedom when they come out of situations like that.
That's the type of women that I was talking about, man. Women who should have known that they're far too independent and marriage would be like a prison to them. Those are the most dangerous because you think that she's actually ready. She doesn't even understand what it takes to be married. She doesn't understand what it takes to have that nice body and be healthy.
What happened to the thought of marriage shouldn't make you feel like you're in prison? It shouldn't limit your freedom.
Because women feel like anytime they can't do whatever they want, wherever they want, however they want, it is a prison. I should not have to answer to anybody for anything. Now, he got to answer to me. But the minute I want to do something, I shouldn't have to answer for shit. I should be able to do whatever the hell I want. Kids, or the house. And if I cannot do what I want to do, then it's a prison. If I have to compromise, which for them, compromising means if I have to give up something that I want in order for the family to thrive, it's a prison. I should be able to do whatever the hell I want. That's it. That's the end. When they can't do what they want, it's prison. And you got a whole bunch of people outside the prison saying, girl, you need to come on out here. Don't let him run you. Don't let him run you. Mind you, they ain't got nobody to go home to. Nobody give a damn if they come home from the club or not. Nobody give a damn if they spend the night at somebody's house and come home or not. But you got somebody who give a damn if you come home. That's a prison. Why he worried about me like that? But then at the same moment, oh, you should protect us. Well, bitch, I told you to stay in the house because that ain't a safe place to go. But I want to do what I want, and I don't want to deal with any of the consequences. That's why it's a prison, because you got a bunch of escapees or people that ain't never been to prison. They outside the gate saying, girl, you need to come out and have fun with us. You need to come out and have fun with us. We need to come out here and do this. We going here. We going to, oh, he ain't going to let you go. He ain't going to let you go. You need to come out here with us. And then you take your ass out there. You take your ass on out there. And then you wonder, oh, you know what? I want to go back in. I want to go back in, but the warden done closed the doors. You can't come back in because you can't come back in disrupting our prison. Go on out there. Go on out there in the yard. You'll be all right.
All right, guys, listen, as always, I'm curious to know what do you think. Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you as always for checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.